Morning. Are you coming in then?
Good morning, and what a show we've got lined up for you today. Sally Lindsay will be here. Yay. Looking forward to that. She's coming back. She's telling us all about a new series this time, Madame Blanc Mysteries, as well as tucking into a dish of sea bass, as well as the classic beef stew and dumplings. And I'll be tasting a drop or two of Spain's most famous wines on a food adventure around the region of La Rioja. And don't miss this week's Little Masterclass. We'll be giving you an essential lesson into cooking and serving game. Now, that's not all, because, as always, we're here by some amazing chefs. This week is top of the tree, to be honest with you. We'll be sharing their trademark dishes with us a little bit later. It's good friends of the show, Tony Singer, Michael Keynes.
Hi.
Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me back.
Who's going to go first? Tony, you're going to go first, because Burns Night. Now, tell me about these. These have become famous.
Haggis pakora, like anything deep fried and golden is delicious. But add haggis to it, phenomenal. And it's the traditional things you'd have with haggis. There's neeps, there's tatties, there's the haggis, but we've added a bit of the spice. We've made them crunchy. We've got amazing sauces with them. Okay. They're fantastic canopies and snacks. They're just awesome.
Because you're sort of one of these haggis are a little bit. It's a bit like we're cooking game a little bit later.
Yeah.
People go, not too
this
sure
is the thing, and it's all the goodness, and nothing's wasted on the animal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you've got the pluck, you've got the lungs, you've got
to try it, don't you? That's
you have to try it, and I think it sounds like a horror story for sheep. If you're a sheep, you wouldn't want to be with any haggis, but nothing's wasted.
Yeah,
and it's getting over that fact of, but they taste amazing. It tastes that good. Burns wrote a poem about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
What more do you want? So, not on the menu for you, haggis, but what are you going to be cooking?
No, we're just going to be doing a curried monkfish, which is going to be pan roasted in some lovely foaming, sort of noisette butter, and that's going to be with some mussels and a lovely saffron sauce. So very, very simple but delicious.
Now he's got his own sauces out as well. I remember years ago you planted this vineyard at your place.
Yes, we did.
Now you got the fruits of it. It's just starting to come through, is it now? It takes years, doesn't it?
It does. Well, 2020 was our first vintage, and soon to come a Chardonnay and a few other things.
To match with the amazing food that you're serving at the hotel. There you go. Well, we're going to be cooking a little bit later with these two guys, and I thought I'd kick things off today by making a little chicken picado, which I'm making. So we use this amazing chicken that I'm going to introduce you to a supplier a little bit later on. But the dish of itself, it's kind of like a pot roast thing. It's, the winter time, you don't want pans everywhere, nice and simple sort of stuff. So we're going to take our influence from Spain for this one, and you can take the potatoes. You don't have to peel them, but the idea is you just chop these all up and use this as a base. Now, this is not going to thicken the stew. The picada is really the mixture of bread and a little bit of almonds and that kind of stuff is as well. But you're going to take your nice little bit of potatoes, stick that in the bottom. The peppers, because this is the essential part of Spanish cooking. I don't know if you guys have travelled a lot to Spain, but you cannot cook without, I've learned, peppers, garlic and olive oil.
Olive oil.
But peppers particularly, an onion, of course. But we take the peppers, no need to sort of de-seed them. This is proper rustic cooking. That's going to go in there as well. With the garlic, you take a good few cloves of garlic, give it a whack. They're going to go in as well. A whole lot gets put in. And then we're going to talk about this chicken. Now, as we all know, the quality of the ingredients are key to any cooking. This is a prime example of that. But what I want to do, before I introduce you to the supplier, is just show you just quickly how to prepare it. We've just got a beautiful chicken over here. I'm going to spatchcock it. We're going to talk about game a little bit later on in the show and do a similar sort of thing with that, using a lot smaller, a little quail and partridge and that kind of stuff. But to spatchcock it speeds up the cooking time, but essentially it's just a fantastic way to cook stuff, whether you eat a pot roast, which I'm going to do, or on the barbecue. Turn the chicken over like that, and then either side over here, take a pair of scissors and cut through. So take a little marker all the way through like that. I'm sure you guys spatchcock loads and loads of things as well, particularly game as well when it's in season, but we cut all the way through like that. But this is brilliant with Indian spices over the top, isn't it?
This is it. You're opening up more surface area. You're getting the spices right in there.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
So like you were saying, Tony was saying, you just open up the surface area like that, press it down, flatten it down, and you've got your nice little bit of chicken. We're going to take that, pop it onto there. Let me wash my hands. And then grab some salt and pepper, and really just the simple flavours come in the form of what we've got over here. I'm going to take some bay leaf. They're going to sit in there as well. I've got some vermouth or nori prat. That's going to go in there as well, which I love with chicken as well. I mean, if you love some French cooking, this is another. It's interesting how the French and the Spanish and everything morphs together around Europe in terms of recipes. We've got some stock over here, some little bit of chicken stock. That's going to go in. Now, I don't put cream in it yet. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then what you want to do is roast this in the oven. So set the oven, 200 degrees. This is going to go for about 50 minutes. After 50 minutes, I'll take some padron peppers, which I wouldn't put on there earlier, sprinkle it over, give it another 10 minutes, and that's about when my chicken is about ready. So you're looking at, traditionally roasting a chicken, probably an hour and 20 minutes, one of the size. Yeah. When you're spatchcocking it like this, it knocks a good sort of 20 minutes off the time, but we can take our chicken out of here and lift that off to one side and leave that over there. Meanwhile, I'm going to pop that into here, because I'm going to introduce you now to where this chicken comes from. We're going to find out more about this, of course. So we're going to head up to East Yorkshire to speak to Ben Lee from Soanes Poultry. I think you're there, Ben. I can see you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Nice to speak to you as well. Now, supplier-wise, we get many on the show, as you know. Every week we get different suppliers. Not many chicken suppliers, but there aren't many chicken suppliers that produce chicken like you. So tell us a bit about the history of the place, because you're fourth generation, aren't you?
Yes, so the Soanes family are in their fourth generation, been farming on the Yorkshire Wolds for 75 years plus. We have three areas of the business. We have arable farming, which rears or grows the wheat for the chicken feed. We have the poultry rearing side of the business. And then Soanes Poultry ourselves, we are the processor and distributor. So we're a fully integrated family farming enterprise.
Now you see it all the way through as well, don't you? So start off, first of all, before we even get to the chicken, let's talk about the actual feed, first of all, the wheat. You're producing the wheat mainly for the chickens. Is that where it all originated for, or you were selling that? What came first, the wheat or the chicken?
The wheat always comes first.
Yeah.
We grow the wheat on our Yorkshire farm. That all goes into a local feed mill, which is then placed into the feed rations for the birds. And then that's obviously transferred to farm, and we rear our bears from day-old chicks through to full processing weight. What type
of birds are they? Because people think of chicken. You see it in the supermarket. You see it in the butcher. The chicken is chicken. What breed is yours? If any of you watching this thinking, I want to produce a few of them for home and bits and pieces, what breed are you looking for? Because the flavour, I've got to say, I tasted these last night. They're amazing. But with the guy I'm going to introduce you in a minute with it. But what type are these?
So we have two breeds that we use. We use a Ross 308 breed, which is a conventional red tractor-based bird. And then we have our free-range birds, which are a Hubbard breed, which is a slower-growing breed for a more mature bird.
And tell me about the farm itself. You had one central farm, and now you've got sporadic farms all around, but not too far away. They're only sort of, less than 20, 25 miles away from the main place?
Yeah, so we're based here at Churchill Farm, which was the original farm. We now have 6 farms and 2 contract growers for ourselves. Most of our farms are within 15 miles of the processing site here in the rural village. And the third, this is 22 miles on rural roads.
And has that always been the case with you? Because I know that, there's several things that are important to you. Sustainability is one thing, seeing the whole process all the way through. But I'm presuming particularly for the local economy, everything else, that staff, it's all, because you've got quite a few people who work in it. Give us an idea, because these boys they're thinking they've got a lot of staff with restaurants and hotels. How many people have you got working for you now in amongst all this?
So we've got just over 120 staff. That's comprising of farm managers through to processing operatives, delivery drivers. We have our own livery, so we deliver everything on our own vehicles where possible. It's just trying to be, recruiting from the local pool. We are a rural producer, so we are based in a small village just outside of Beverley and Driffield, the market towns.
You've got to sell Beverley and Driffield now, because these guys
I've not heard of Beverley, but I want to go and see her.
Near Hull. Pronounced without a H. Not Hull.
Right. City of culture, though. That's all right.
Exactly. That's the one.
Yeah, I've heard of Hull.
But quality, we think about your cooking with fish as well, monkfish and stuff like that. I often think chicken is just, people just go, it's just chicken. But there's a massive, massive difference, as you guys know.
But again, it's ingredients. And Ben, what sounds like is just, this is top of the tree. And you were saying free range, the secondary breed you were talking about. What makes the difference between free range and red tractor?
So we rear three different levels of chicken. We've got a grain-fed Yorkshire award-winning bird, which is our standard red tractor bird. We have a free-range bird, which predominantly have at least half of their lifespan is reared outdoors or have access to outdoors. And then we have a higher welfare brand as well, which is reared at lower stocking density, so that's at least 20% more space. And that's something that we've recently, over the last few years, trying to introduce to the marketplace and try and get, build that market of a higher welfare product.
I often say to people about how the people go, well, how can you tell the difference between the chicken and the chicken? Because you get it like that. First of all, you got to look at it, but I think the key to it is when you cook it.
Yeah.
If you just traditionally roast a chicken off, and it's got so often it's got a lot of water and bits and pieces in the bottom. Yours doesn't do that. Is that because they put?
No,
I don't want to say. Is that because they put stuff in it?
I think a lot of it comes down to how it's processed. We have obviously a lot of staff. So whilst we have mechanical aspects of the business, we still are very much hand finished. We air chill, so there's no water added in the chilling process. It's completely just done by cold air over about a 3 to 4 hour period. And then I think it comes down to the inputs of the bird, using homegrown wheat within the ration, the husbandry that goes into looking after the birds, and then from being local and being, all around, 5-6 miles, transportation and stress is a big factor on poultry eating quality or meat eating quality generally.
Well, hopefully the taste is different as well for these lot, because I'm about to finish this off. So this is your little bit of this is the stewy bit. So I've got in here the potatoes, the peppers. Now, if you look at this, it looks as if the mixture's split a little bit. But what you do is you take this piccata. This is this combination of garlic. And we've got the breadcrumbs, and then what you do is you take the almonds as well. So over here, I just want to show you this. That's the breadcrumbs, the garlic. You take the almonds; these go in here as well, and we blend it all up, and you use this as a thickener for your stew. So that sits in here, and we just blend this all up, and this then thickens. This is brilliant for soups and stuff like that. It's one of the great things I got from the Spanish trip as well, which you're going to see on the show as well a little bit later. But you take this mixture and you just pop that in here, and it thickens up the stew. Use it a lot in soups and stuff like that, but you put it in the last minute, you get this amazing sort of fresh taste. Switch that off, let it all sort of thicken up. But this is the fruits of all your labour as well, this amazing chicken over here. So, but you can see that. I mean, that looks amazing just as it is, like that. And then I'm going to grab a couple of plates for these gents, and I'll use where's my little carving fork? There we go. Do you want thigh and leg, or you're just happy with
whatever
what I give you?
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
I'll have a bit of breath.
There you go. So take a little bit of that. Take a little bit. There we go.
It's here.
Looks all right.
It's fantastic, doesn't it?
Bit of that.
Skin.
Yeah, the skin is amazing.
Yeah.
You always tell, that moisture, if it's too much, you never really get a
crispy
good
skin.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
It looks, but the difference is it's got a bit of colour, and you see some of the chickens are just pale, and that's got a bit of colour.
I think that's exactly right as well. But
Nice bit of fat content in the skin as well. It's just nice. Nice.
right, I'm just going to have a quick little taste of this, because these are. Will tell me off if I don't season it properly. Ben, there we go. That's going to go in there. And then we take the potatoes, the peppers, everything else, and you just sit that with it. I love this type of cooking. It's just, but you pop this lovely sauce, and you can see how it's thickened up nicely. Take that with it. And that with it. So hopefully I've done your chicken justice. The guys are about to taste it in a minute. But I wish you all the best of luck with it. And is there a fifth generation in the wings? I'm assuming there is.
The fifth generation, I think they're in nursery now, so they'll be on the way through.
Exactly. Well, good luck with everything. And next time I'm passing, I'll come in and see you.
Fantastic, James.
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Ben.
There we have it. My roast chicken with piccata and a nice little bit of potatoes with green peppers. Easy as that. Right, gentlemen, dive into
Fabulous.
that.
Fantastic.
Dive
great.
into that.
Thank you.
That you can tell how much there's less water coming out of this, but when you taste it,
Oh wow, that sauce is great too.
sauce is lovely, isn't it? It's just it thickens up. Just that little amount of bread and almonds.
But when you catch a bit of almond, oh, it's lovely.
It's a lovely texture, that chicken.
Yeah.
You know, it's proper texture. You know, it's
Well,
really...
it tastes of chicken. It's difficult to describe. Well, it's easy to describe. It tastes like chicken,
It does, like proper chicken there.
Proper chicken.
like a corn-fed chicken, but
But the
really,
texture,
really, yeah,
I
beautiful.
love the
isn't it?
texture.
yeah, texture's great.
And the size of it as well. I mean, that feed 8-10 people. It's massive. It's like the size of a
it's
turkey.
huge.
But there you go.
Sandwiches for the week for the leftovers.
Exactly. Now I'll be treating